Aloha, I am Mauli Ola, and I'm very pleased to be able to share a Moʻolelo with you today. It is the story of Ku'ula Kai and his son ʻAiʻai. For many years, I have enjoyed this beautiful publication about this Moʻolelo put out by Punana Leo. I use it often in my teaching of place-based storytelling and creative dance. I was interested to tell about loko ia, about fish ponds, because it has become a new topic that we are studying at our wonderful charter school here in Anahola, Kanuikapono. I also would like to honor the amazing work that's being done by Peleke Flores and his group to revive the loko ia of Alekoko here on our island of Kauai. I'm grateful to the State Foundation for posting this video during the time of Ocean Awareness in the month of June. These are some of the books that I've used to try to learn more about loko ia, about fish ponds. And these are some of the books that I've used to learn more about this story so I could tell it to you better. I hope you will enjoy. Thank you so very much for joining me. Aloha. In the ancient days of old Hawaii, there lived a family, an ohana. The father, the makuakane, was called Ku'ula Kai. His beloved wahine, his wife, Hina Pukui'a, and their keikikani, their son, ʻAiʻai. Many would say that Ku'ula and Hina were akua, gods, of the ocean, of the fish. Others would say, no, they're just mere kanaka, mortals, human beings, but with very special gifts. But all who speak of them agree that they had a pilina, a connection with the kai, with the ocean, that was very deep and powerful and somewhat supernatural. They lived in Leho Ula, in the Aleamai district of Hana, on the beautiful mokupuni of Maui. Well, because of their pilina with the sea, they always had a lot of fish, and they were very generous in sharing them with their neighbors and the village. The whole Kaiaulu, the entire community, benefited from their generosity and kindness and skill. When the high chief of Hana, Kamohali'i, heard of Ku'ula Kai's prowess in fishing, he immediately made him his po'olawai'a, his head fisherman. Well, Ku'ula wanted to honor his ali'i and do more for his people, so he had the idea to build something that had never existed in Hawaii before, a loko ia, a fish pond, a pond in which he could raise fish. And instead of always just taking from the ocean, he would raise something that could give back and not deplete the sources. Well, excitedly he began his task. His son, ʻAiʻai, was thrilled with his father's project and so wanted to be by his father's side, as little boys do. He wanted to do everything with his father. But his makuakane said, "A'ole, e nā na aku ike kumu. Just watch me, son, carefully and observe. E ho'olohe mai, listen when I explain. E pa'akawaha, it is not a time for questions now. Observe." And ʻAiʻai, being a very good boy, a keikikani, maika iloa, did just what his father said. He didn't make stink eye or get nuha and all. No, he watched carefully, he observed, and he learned so much. He watched his father as Ku'ula went and chose just the right size of pohaku, just the right sheep, carried them with his strength, and kopono. He put them so carefully and skillfully, one on top the other, aligning them all up to make a strong kuapa that no wave could smash down. And then Ku'ula went and got just the right wood to make a gate that could lift, to allow the ia to come inside his pond and then shut so they could no longer go out. When his loko ia was complete and prayers were said, then he began to take care of the fish that he had within that loko ia. He had to malama them, to take care of them. He had to hanai, to feed them. Well, I thought, I could do that. That's not hard. I could catch fish. I could feed the fish. But again, his makuakane said, "A'ole, e nā na aku ki kumu. Observe. E ho'olohe mai, listen carefully. E pa'akawaha, Not a time for questions right now. Learn by watching. And ʻAiʻai again observed and learned so much. Then the i'a became momona, fat and nice. The ku'ulakai said, I'm going to bring some to the chief, to Kamohali'i. So he scooped them up with a net. Oh, I wanted to do that. That looked like so much fun. He put them in the va'a in his canoe. He paddled them over. I wanted to paddle. He wanted to scoop. But his father said again, E nana kuike kumu, e ho'olo he mai, e pa'a kawaha. And when the time is right, you will hanami kalima. So I had to wait. Well, one day, Ku'ulakai and ʻAiʻai got up in the early kakahiaka in the early morning, went down to the local i'a to see what was happening that day. And when they got there, they couldn't believe their eyes. The local i'a had been destroyed. The rocks were scattered here and there. The makaha, the gate was broken. The i'a had escaped. Ku'ula's heart was broken. This was his big work he had done to honor his chief, to feed his people, and now poho, it was all gone to waste. How could this have happened? One of Ku'ulakai's neighbors, one whom he had given many fish to, came and he said, Ku'ula, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to tell you what happened because I saw it with my own eyes. An eel came, a puhi, and it wasn't an ordinary eel, Ku'ula, it was enormous. It entered into your local i'a and began gobbling up all your nice i'a momona. And as it ate the fish, it got bigger and bigger and bigger until it was so giant it could not get out of the fish pond, and that's when it smashed and crashed all your walls and your makaha. And Ku'ula, I know that puhi. I have heard about him because my mother's brother's cousin lives in Wailau, Molokai, and that is where the puhi is from. His name is Ko'ona. The people in Wailau, they pray to him. They think he's some kind of god. But when that puhi heard about your local i'a, he came over to get some of the fish. And now he's even staying here, Ku'ula, right down the coast. You know that cave down the bottom of the ocean where the ulua fish swim? That's where he is. I am so sorry, Ku'ula. Awe. Well, Ku'ula took this new ike, this information, and with ʻAiʻai went back to their home, and Ku'ula discussed with Hinapuku i'a what he had found out. He and his wife decided it was time for ʻAiʻai to hanami kalima. So the next day, Ku'ula brought ʻAiʻai down to the kahakai to the beach and sat him down and gave him all the tools he would need to catch that puhi. He gave him his sacred, magical fishhook named Manaya Kalani. He gave him a long kaula, a long rope made of hau, twisted by the many hands of all the villagers, so that ʻAiʻai would not be alone in this task. The mana, the power of his community, would be with him. He gave him a stick that he could attach to the kaula and the hook, so that the puhi, with his sharp teeth, could not bite the kaula and get free. He gave him an umeke, a bowl full of roasted niu, coconut. This is what he would use to bait the hook. And he gave him a large pohaku, so that when he jumped in the kai, he would go down very quickly. Well, ʻAiʻai accepted all his father's instructions, and then he knew. He called his friends together. He could not do this alone. He needed his team with him, his friends. So they gathered together, they loaded the va'a, the canoe, with everything they would need. ʻAiʻai said a pule, blessing everything, got in the va'a. They paddled down the coast till they got to the place where that cave was meant to be. ʻAiʻai said, go close, go close. They went up close to the pali. And then ʻAiʻai took some of that niu, chewed it up, the coconut, spit it into the water, and the greasy coconut spread across the water and made it so ʻAiʻai could look down. The cave was right there. Oh, ʻAiʻai said, we are ready. He gave the instructions to his friends. When I pull 2 times on the cord, that is when you begin to pull with all your might. Huki, pull that cord and begin to paddle, and we will drag that puhi all the way back to Leho'ula. His friends agreed. I picked up everything he needed, held the rock, the manaiakalani hook, and saying his parents' names, plunged into the sea. Down he went, shoo, to the bottom. He saw the entrance to the cave. Carefully, he placed manaiakalani right at the entrance and pulled back. The puhi came and bit the hook. I gave a fast jerk so that hook would lodge right into the mouth of the puhi. And then he gave 2 tugs on the kaula, and his friends began to pull. I swam up, jumped into the ba'a, and together they huki ika puhi. They pulled that puhi. Hoe ika ba'a. They paddled that canoe. Huki, hoe, until they got all the way back to the beach at Leho'ula, and they dragged the puhi's body onto the shore. The puhi was thrashing and cavorting his body. Everyone stood back in fear. But ʻAiʻai picked up a large rock, walked right up to that puhi, lifted it up, and smashed it on top of the puhi. The puhi was hurt, but he didn't stop. He still threatened ʻAiʻai with his sharp teeth. ʻAiʻai picked up another poaku, smashed it again. This weakened the puhi even further, but still he threatened the people all around. ʻAiʻai said one last powerful pule, picked up another rock, and with all his might, bashed it on top of the puhi. The puhi lay still. The people cut off his head and roasted it in the underground imu. That night, the village feasted on the puhi. But the rest of his body, all his backbone and tail, turned to stone. Yes, right there at Leho'ula. You can see it to this day if you go to Leho'ula in the Leamai district of Hana, Maui. The remains of Ko'ona, the evil puhi. Pipi holo ka'au, our tale has been sprinkled.